The page takes 3 seconds to load. 3 seconds, which is barely enough time to blink and begin regretting a haircut, but the brain has already opened a small case against the internet. The circle spins, nothing changes, and suddenly this is not just time passing. It feels like the system has gone quiet in a way that means something, which is strange because people once waited weeks for letters, but now a tiny pause can arrive dressed as an insult. So the easy answer would be people got spoiled. And honestly, the internet has made that accusation tempting. In classic interface timing rules, about a tenth of a second feels instant, 1 second keeps the thought moving, and around 10 seconds is where attention starts drifting away. 3 seconds sits in the dangerous middle. It is not long enough to sound serious, but it is long enough for the brain to notice the promise has been missed. At scale, that tiny gap stops being a mood and starts becoming behavior. Google found that more than half of mobile visits are abandoned when a page takes over 3 seconds to load, so speed is part of the story. But it does not explain why the same 3 seconds can feel harmless in one place and insulting in another. Because the clock is only measuring one version of the wait. Your brain is measuring the other version, the annoying premium edition. A delay feels longer when attention is pointed straight at it, because now the wait is not background time. It is the whole room. This is why occupied time can feel shorter. A menu, a mirror, a progress bar, even a dumb little working message keeps the mind from staring directly at the delay. The system may not be moving faster, but the wait has stopped being empty. And empty time is where 3 seconds starts putting on a little costume and calling itself a problem. The cleanest fix is knowing what kind of wait you are inside. Arrives in 18 minutes is not instant, but at least the brain can settle around it. The delay has a shape now. Compare that to a screen that only says loading, while one little circle performs cardio for morale. Now the brain cannot settle. It keeps checking, because every second might be the final second, or the first sign that something has quietly failed. That is why progress indicators matter even when they do not make anything faster. They reduce uncertainty, prove the system is still alive, and keep attention from turning the gap into a mystery. But when the wait stays unknown and gives no reason, the brain starts supplying reasons on its own. Before anything visibly starts, the person is just suspended there. Then one small cue appears. Request received. Nothing has finished, but the wait no longer feels invisible. Now the system has at least admitted you exist, which is a low bar, but apparently an important one. Even a weak explanation can help, because a cause gives the delay a place to belong. Without that, silence starts looking less like processing and more like neglect. That is why a line can be moving and still feel wrong. If everyone waits in order, the promise is boring but stable. Stand here, move forward, eventually receive coffee, paperwork, or whatever small civilization has been assembled today. Then someone cuts ahead and the clock has barely changed, but the wait has become offensive. The problem is no longer time. It is the promise breaking in public. Delivery works the same way. A slower arrival can be fine when the estimate holds, and the system does not keep quietly moving the finish line. A package arriving in 3 days can feel fine if it said 3 days from the start. The slower promise is often easier to forgive than the fast promise that keeps quietly editing itself. What burns is the faster promise that keeps becoming a later promise while acting like this is normal weather. And then waiting gets worse, because the system is no longer a system. It is a person. A message sits there with a tiny scene underneath it, which is one of the smallest ways technology has found to ruin a perfectly normal afternoon. Before, silence could mean anything because you knew nothing. Now silence can still mean anything, but it arrives with a timestamp and a little badge that says, scientifically, good luck. Maybe they are busy. Maybe they forgot. Maybe they opened it, got distracted, and the phone became a pocket-sized crime scene for no reason. The reader seat does not end the guessing. It just gives the guessing better evidence. Now the wait is not asking only how long. It is asking, what does this mean? And that is the bigger pattern. Modern life keeps turning waiting into interpretation. A loading wheel says the page is trying. A map pin says the driver still exists somewhere in the known universe. A typing bubble says another human has entered the arena, possibly to write lol after 12 seconds of suspense. Together they train one expectation. Time is supposed to come with narration now. So when the narration disappears, the gap feels suspicious. The brain is not only waiting for the thing to happen, it is waiting for proof that the thing still remembers it is supposed to happen. But before this becomes a lazy complaint about modern humans, one correction matters. Some waits really are badly built. So the point is not that every irritated person needs to go meditate beside a router. Some waits are genuinely hostile to the brain. No estimate, no acknowledgement, no explanation, no visible progress, no clear order. Just silence wearing a user interface. That kind of wait does not ask for patience. It asks the person to trust a system that has stopped giving reasons to trust it. A slower wait can feel fine when the promise is clear and stable. A faster wait can feel worse when the promise keeps wobbling, disappearing, or pretending the user has no memory. So impatience is not always weak character. Sometimes impatience is just missing information arriving before manners do. So the 3-second load returns. But it means something different now. Time did not get slower. It just stopped coming with the status update we were trained to expect.